Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition 167 of the CantinaMX podcast. My name is John Jagu. Glad to have you with us this evening. I am coming to you live, not from the banks of Lake Travis as I am normally situated, but from downtown Oklahoma City, where next door, over at the Chesapeake Bay Arena, there is a concert of a band called Five Finger Death Punch. I don't know what that is, but that's what's happening. That's what's happening next door here in the heartland of Oklahoma City. The Dallas Cowboys are on the 1 yard line, and they have just taken a knee, so they're going to beat Saints. Hold the Saints to 10 points. Pumas is up 1-0. I don't know what's going on, Joel. The gods have been smiling on me tonight.
Is this the real life?
Or is this just fantasy? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But that is where we are. Joel Aceves joins us from an undisclosed location.
I'm in Irvine right now.
In Orange County.
Está lloviendo. Yeah, it's been raining profusely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long has the freak out been going on?
Has the what?
How long has the freak out been going on there?
I just started last night, lightly, but it's welcome rain.
Yeah, well, I mean, what people don't understand about Los Angeles, because they see the palm trees and all that, all the pretty stuff, is that it's essentially a desert. It's not really. I mean, all of that stuff you see there is really kind of more manufactured because it just doesn't rain out there. It rains like 3 or 4 times a year total. I mean, it just doesn't rain that much at all. So it's not the lush, verdant valleys that people claim it to be. So when it does rain, people have a major freak out there in Los Angeles. And yes, but Joel, let's get right to it. We have the Liguilla to talk about. And
yes,
in the first games we had yesterday, Cruz Azul took care of business away on the road, 2-0 in the Corregidora against everyone's sexy new coach, Rafa Puente Jr., who was very, very happy and excited to be in the Liguilla. If you saw the little video that he posted where he was able to make it, and kudos to them. It just said, it's a tough task to beat a team that has been as solid as Cruz Azul has been over the past season, and Cruz Azul did what they had to do yesterday, get the 2 points, get the 2 goals to go up 2-0, and then they'll have the home leg to be played at Cruz Azul's historic home, which is the Estadio Azteca, and they will probably take care of business there and advance to the semifinals. And the other game in the Tamalera, Monterrey won 1-0 over Santos con la mínima diferencia, so everything's still to play for in Torreón, and as we all know, Torreón is a very difficult place to get a result. Oof, Joel. Almost came very close to going up 2-0 there in the Volcán. And today's result, Joel. Yes, please.
No, that would be quite the upset. And especially Pumas is playing away, so that's making the result even that much.
Yeah, well, they hadn't even scored a goal in the Volcán in the last 6 times they've been there. So the fact that they're winning 1-0, and I'm not saying necessarily that they're going to win this, and they may not even win the tie, but just for.
Well, and then also the other thing is that Pumas is higher up in the tabla general, so if
Yeah, it is the second tie. The first tiebreaker is away goals, and then the second tiebreaker is the higher seed. It used to be where the lower seed would have to win the tie out, which I kind of liked. I think that especially when an 18 playoff, you should have an advantage like that to force the other team to win the tie. I actually prefer that, and then I think then it should go to away goals for the semifinals, and then in the final, there should be no tiebreaker. It should just whatever happens.
Yeah. So I mean, Pumas is looking good, and except Tigres is that type of team that has the strikers that if turn the switch on, they could make it rain. But Pumas is showing that they're gonna,
Yes, we're not gonna talk about Tigres as strikers tonight.
Okay. Don't want to jinx. I would not. But you know what striker impressed me was Alexis Vega. I had not seen much of him play. And if Chivas has not, he's rumored to go to Chivas. If they have not tied his contract or his transfer, I think that price just went up.
It did. He was plays for Toluca, a teenager, has been playing well for them all season. And they were able to secure, ultimately a draw against America, which wasn't necessarily the best result for them, but certainly better than being down 2-1. It was a very entertaining game, as most America Toluca games are.
Yeah.
Something I haven't done in forever.
Yeah.
Go to Medio Tempo's website and see what worked. Just because they all they do is run ads now, so it's just like really, really.
Yeah, Vega's goal was pretty much highlight there. The way he left three defenders in his wake, and the way he struck the ball was just very impressive. Oh, good Lord!
What? I'm way behind you, so don't even.
You are behind me.
Don't even say it. I'm hoping it's something good.
It's, well, I don't know. It's getting disputed right now, but I just saw Puma score.
Yeah. I am definitely way behind. Yeah. So anyway, so let's look at the goals here. Let's see.
Is this? I might be going to VAR here, John. This goal.
Yeah. Is it worth going to VAR?
Might be disputed. Well, wait. No, it got.
Yeah, so I'm looking for at the goal list, and Alexis Vega is surely he's gotta have more than that. This must be him, Ernesto Vega. Yeah, so he scored. Alexis Vega scored what looks to be, I think, 6 goals in the temporada. So yeah. I think that he was the second highest Mexican player goal scorer in Liga MX, behind, maybe third. I think Salivar and Victor Guzman. I'm not sure what the. Oh, wait. So was it a goal or not? Because I just saw it play.
They're calling it offsides, but I believe if the goalie is the last to touch the ball, I think it negates the offside position.
So they're going to the VAR right now?
No, they didn't. So
it did. So it didn't happen.
They didn't give it, but because I remember this goal where a player was behind the goalkeeper, and then the goalkeeper. He threw the ball up to try to kick it off, and the player went around him. I don't know if you remember seeing that goal a while back. But I think the rule is if you could be offside, but if the goalie touches the ball and you have no interference, he sort of puts it back into play.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to have to go to the archives for that. But I believe that was
because the goalie should he lo habilita. The thing is was he in an offside position on the first touch?
No, he wasn't.
So that should be a goal.
Yeah, he was nowhere near the goalie, and then the goalie sort of left the bar right there for him. But yeah, we could probably double check that just to make sure.
Yeah, so actually he was tied.
He was tied.
Yeah, Vega was tied with Sally, so he was the second highest Mexican goal scorer.
Yeah.
In Liga MX.
Which is impressive given the lack of goal scorers and his age too. and
Yes,
given
indeed.
his age.
That is correct. Yeah, he's still a teenager, I believe. And you're right that he was born in 1997. So no, actually, he's not a teenager. He's 21. He's 21. See, this is people ask him, "Oh, what's the problem with Mexico?" This is the problem with Mexican soccer.
I thought he was younger though. I thought he was
younger too. I thought he was as well.
So, I still think it's good for his age. It's not that common in Liga MX as it should be. But I think it
should be. I mean, if you want to see these guys, if they're good enough, you want to see them like Lainez. Lainez obviously is an undisputed talent, and of course he's going to debut at 16, 17 years old as he did because he's, proven that he's good enough. The same thing with Chucky Lozano. He debuted when he was 18, and not only debuted against America, but they didn't even score a goal in the Estadio Azteca. And so that's what you want to see. It's hard for me to see players like. Like Vega and some of these other guys that, have make this big jump. When they've already crossed the 20-year threshold, you want to see these guys make the jump. If they're as talented as people think, when it's in the 17 to 19 year range. So see how that plays out there with Mr. Vega. So Joel, he's had a pretty good season, as we've said, and we've also seen other Mexican players have good seasons that were not called up. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago, where it's not necessarily and especially right now, right after a World Cup. I mean, they're not really trying to, quote unquote, see all these players. They're trying to sell tickets. The reasons why, some of the names that were included were, to like the Pulidos of the world, to try and get the tickets sold, as opposed to evaluating talent and this and that. So that's what ended up happening in that situation. So we haven't seen Mr. Vega, but if Chivas does end up forking over, they're gonna, the price has gone up, especially if he continues to have a good Liguilla. So that's number one. Number two, the Chivas is gonna have to pay an additional premium as they do because of their personnel policies. It's something we've talked about in the past on a pretty regular basis, because that's just the way it is. They're gonna have to pay. If they want a player, well, if Pumas wanted this player, the price is 5, but if Chivas wants him, the price is 8. and it's not, that's just the way it is. I mean, that's just the way it is for
with Vega then 21, then I could see Toluca selling him. I thought he was a bit younger, 18, 19. But at that age, you should already be a starter.
Exactly.
And especially if you're a top talent, you should already be like a already key player. But we'll see what happens. That goal show a lot of skill, and there's way more Mexican players that are at that level. We just don't see them because it's so little. There's so little opportunities, and that was one of the things Tuca he talked about after his last match with the national team about there needs to be restriction in number of foreigners, and even the league is looking to cut back. But even the cutback is still not that much.
No,
still we're going down to 8 or something like that.
Well, I mean, the number, frankly, is unlimited. You can have an unlimited number of foreigners on your team as long as you only field 8 or whatever it is. Have 8 on your lista de convocados.
Yes,
so that's ridiculous. I mean, it should. It used to be for years, and it was only 5 foreigners, period. So you have a roster of 30 guys, and only 5 of them.
Wasn't it 4 and 5, right?
Yeah.
I think in DF it was like I'm not sure if you could have an extra or one less.
It was one less.
Yeah. Yeah, for that.
Frankly, we in Chinangolandia, you just don't need it. Out in the provincia, I can see
Provincia, they needed help.
How teams would need foreign help.
So I found this. Jon. Let me see if I'm understanding it right. There is no offside offense if a player receives the ball directly from a goal kick, a corner kick, a throw-in, or a drop the ball.
So in that sense, then he was offside.
You think he was?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it wasn't a goal kick, it wasn't a corner kick, it wasn't a throw-in, and it wasn't a drop ball.
But wouldn't that be like his save be a drop ball?
I think the drop ball is when the referee does the bote. I think that's the drop ball that they're talking about. I think.
Oh.
But I mean, I always look at, was he? To me, the play was he offside on the shot, and he wasn't offside on the shot. So
it says it is also not an offense if the ball was last deliberately played by an opponent, except for a deliberate save.
So there's your answer right there. So it was a deliberate save.
Yeah. If that's the case, then the ref just saved the Tigers, which
of course,
pretty lackluster.
If that would have been against America, then we all know that the call would have gone in any way to perjudicar America. That's what would have happened, according to most Americanistas. Today the referee in the America game gave 6 minutes of stoppage time, which apparently was too excessive. It was too much for America to defend, and that was the reason why they lost it. So it wasn't because they couldn't defend for 6 minutes. Because the referee made them defend for 6 minutes.
6 minutes, it's like a lifetime, John.
So,
it can be a lifetime.
It's never their fault. It's never their fault when things like that happen. It's always somebody else's fault. They're due America. And for two America's fans. This is always the case. So Joel, we have Pumas hanging on by a thread here in the Volcan. If they end up, even if they tie 1-1, I'd have to say advantage Pumas because CantinaMX was not kind to Tigres because they're going to make them play the second leg, and not just in Mexico City, but in high noon in the sweltering 65.
Hey, it's all about home field advantage.
So,
as you know.
It is. So there you have it. Pumas, who is the 3 seed, so I mean they are the higher seed. So frankly, they should be the favorites in this sort of thing. They played Tigres already. This year they beat them, so they tied 3-3. They played them at 4:00. So there's a really good interview, and I haven't had a chance to see it, with the Pumas FO, and they're talking about how some of the changes they did to improve the squad. I think they were in Fútbol Picante a few days ago. It's on my queue to watch later. Well, I mean, they had to do something because I know that the Cantera has provided a pretty decent amount of players. I mean, certainly not at the caliber that any fan of Mexican soccer, at least for the past 20, 30 years, can attest to the fact that if a good player comes out of Pumas, he's usually a great player. I mean, they haven't had that great player in quite a while. It's been a long time since Pumas has had that quote unquote great player that has come out. On a deflection, Tigres scores.
Did you just see it? I was keeping quiet there, Jon. Did not want to disappoint.
That's all right. Yeah, but so Tigres, Javier Aquino scores on a shot that is deflected by what looked like a Pumas player's ass, the back of his front.
What is the celebration? He was doing what was that? He's doing with his hands.
I'm not quite sure, frankly. I'm not up to speed on. Yeah, it was definitely with the bumpies, the deflection, not the.
It's still a good result, Jon.
Not
all is lost.
No, I'm believing that getting that precious away goal is massive. So it could certainly prove to be the difference. And there's no reason why Pumas can't get a second goal. It's not like he's doing the German chicken dance, is what it looks like to me. That was what the celebration is. So there you go. So up to the minute news, Tigres has tied Pumas. So it's Javier Aquino gets the equalizer with his shot is deflected off the posterior of a Pumas player and goes into the corner of the net. And let's see if Pumas can hang on for the next 20 minutes to keep the 1-1 draw. That Tigres get a second. Although, as long as to me, a good result for Pumas would be don't lose by. If you lose by 2 or less, that to me is a good result. You just can't
Jon,
squeeze it.
It's looking like Tigres is turning up the heat.
Well, but they didn't score again, did they?
No, they didn't. But it hit the post, man.
Well, I don't know why you're so much further ahead than I am on the internet. That's probably why. But there's not much I can do about that. What happens. And I just saw that right now. Oof.
Yeah, and then it's like they're getting lucky though. It's because that was meant as a cross. It's meant as a cross, and some kids scored on me like that a long time ago. I was playing Sunday pub league, and kid runs down the wing and he sends a cross, and then the wind pushes it in. Except it scored on me, and man, as a keeper, you look really bad. But that's a hard ball to block, It is, especially if it curves like that. Yeah, as a shot is one of those you could shoot all day, and you probably won't make that shot. But yeah, man.
So we'll keep an eye on that. But big news on the national team front. So it looks like the U.S. national team has named Columbus Crew coach Greg Berhalter, a former national team player, one of the players on the field when the U.S. beat Mexico 2-0 in Korea, 2002 World Cup. Been coaching Columbus Crew for a long time. It seems like after a year of looking and interviewing and trying to get the guy, the cynic in me says that the U.S. settled for Berhalter. I don't necessarily think that was their top choice at all.
It feels like they were divided, and I think it sort of seems that way since they changed presidency. There's been like a big divide as to what direction they're gonna take, and like one half wanted Martino or a foreign coach to come in and shake things up, and then the other half was like, we tried that with Klinsmann and it didn't work out too well. Let's just do what we know best.
Right.
Which, yeah, I don't blame. I think a lot of times we put a lot of stock in the coach, but it's like and I've seen other people say this. Yeah, you could bring Mourinho, you could bring Pep to the Mexican national team. He's not gonna have them playing like they have those teams because they're not gonna have access to the same type of players.
Right. Well, I mean, one thing that that I noticed under Klinsmann particularly, and then maybe not as much under under Arena is that Klinsmann was so desperate to make the U.S. play this possession-driven style that, frankly, they just don't have the horses to do. And when they did try and play like that, I mean, they would just
Yeah.
But when they play the absorb, and there's nothing wrong with absorb. I mean, you can't count it. Italy has won World Cups playing absorb count. They've done very well with that. Using that style of play. It's not. There's absolutely nothing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And frankly, the U.S. is very effective with it because their conditioning is good. They have very fast players. They can get guys on the break, and so it's not. It's a style of play that I think suits them very well. And if Berhalter is the one that that helps the U.S. do that, I mean, just there's. You don't have to play pretty to win.
No.
And I think that Klinsmann was kind of forcing the U.S. to try and play pretty to win. And Arena, I think at that point, was just trying to just get it to win. Period.
Yeah, they call Bob. Damn, I forget his name. I forget his last name. Bob.
Bradley.
Brad. What was it?
Bunker Bob.
Bunker Bob and Robo Bob. What is his last name though? It's I'm forgetting. Bob Bradley, right? Yeah, he's a good coach. He's a really good coach, and people hated his style. And yeah, they're Bunker Bob and Robo Bob, but this guy had them so close to winning a Confederations Cup that would have been epic because they got their
best results under Bradley for sure.
Yeah, they had defeated Spain that was like on a, what was it, 25-30 game unbeaten streak?
Yeah.
And they defeated them in an official match.
And had Brazil down 2-0.
And they had, they in the first half, a very, very talented Brazil, might I add. It's not like, and he came close, man. He came close, and it's it's interesting how fans forget things like this a lot of times.
Yes.
It's like, wait, dude, what the? You almost made history right there. It came very close, but just even finishing second was huge. But that would have been their first international cup, similar to Mexico's in 1999 with La Puente, who a lot of people don't give credit to anymore. So I think both fans are the more I follow both teams, the more they start resembling each other. Some of these attitudes.
Yeah, it is very true. So, and then of course, in other news, looks like if Tata Martino is indeed the coach for Mexico, they're gonna have to wait.
He just made the final, Jon.
He did.
With Atlanta, they won their conference. I don't know how that works.
Well, they won the Eastern Conference, so they will not only will they be playing in the MLS Cup, they'll be hosting the MLS Cup. I'm sure MLS is thrilled.
Do you get like a trophy for that? Do you remember years back Mexico used to say "Campeón de Invierno"? Hey, did they ever get something, or just like a paper?
The Invierno was the clausura. That's what they used to call the clausura. Was the Invierno.
No, I know, but I don't remember like you would get anything for it. They would just call you that, Campeón de Invierno.
Well, yeah, you got the trophy because that was the tournament.
No, for the league.
Oh, but before they split the seasons.
Yeah, it's like before it went into Liguilla, if you finished just top of the table, they would say es campeón de invierno or campeón de whatever, but you didn't get anything. It was just like in name only.
Yeah, well, the MLS does the same thing. They give whoever wins with the most points at the end of it gets the supporter shield.
All right, well, at least you get something, man.
A certificate of appreciation.
Amen. I wouldn't mind one of those.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to wait, and this is something that we've had discussions about in the past. What is, I'm not gonna say the cupboard is bare, but there's gonna be a major overhaul that's gonna have to be done between now in 2022 as far as the players from Mexico. And we'll have to check and see if Mr. Martino is up to that task. If that is, if he can, go down to Mendoza and go to Newell's Old Boys and find a contención like the CantinaMX. He doesn't have that luxury. And, maybe as you said in the past, it always seems like it's the foreign coaches that come in to that seem to value the Mexican player more than the locals do. So we'll see how that plays out with Tata, because his out of the players that are playing in Europe right now, outside of Chucky and Raúl Jiménez, maybe Nestor Araujo, but he's not playing that much right now.
Tecatito, he just became the first Mexican to score in 3 consecutive Champions League games. So that's
so Tecate's having a good
added to the book, huh?
He's having a good season, and that's good. That's good. He obviously had something happen to him or his family in 2017 that has taken him a good year and a half to finally get back where his head is right with the game again. So hopefully the guys will be able to find that level that we all know he has, and hopefully he'll be able to get that going.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Yon. I feel like I dropped the salt here.
What, they scored again?
I was like Salt Bay. He came in with my comments. The sprinkling salt.
What, the Tia score again?
Yes, Dueñas. 2-1.
That's all right. Like I said, as long as it's not 3-1 or 4-1.
Yes, that's just such a stacked team, such a strong team, and I've said it before. If they wanted to, the Norteño teams owned by is it FEMSA or FAMSA?
Monterrey is owned by FAMSA, and then the other ones are owned by CEMEX.
FAMSA, but there's like a FEMSA that's like I think they sell furniture. I confuse them.
Right.
But FAMSA is soft drink distributor number 2 in the world.
Right.
Not in the world.
Right.
And CEMEX is number 2 in the world as well. Yeah, construction, they sell like cement and building materials.
And Bimbo's a number 2 food company.
They are, but they don't own the team. They sponsored a bunch. They sponsored the whole league at one point.
Right.
But just if those companies wanted to, they would just stack these teams, especially with the whole
that's exactly
no
what they
foreigner
want
limit.
to do. That's exactly what they wanted to do. They are the two clubs that have been pushing for this to take a lid off the no foreigner limit. That's how they want to compete.
Yeah, well, they have, and that's how they became bigger. But I'm saying they could go extra because they have that money. Like they could literally bring in more. They could have more Guignacs, more whatever, more.
Well, let's not pretend that they're the only teams in the league that have that kind of financial clout. There are other teams in the league that can do the exact same thing.
I don't know, man. I do think they're the most. I know OmniLife doesn't have that type of cloud, man.
Well, no.
I know. I don't think TV Azteca does either.
TV Azteca could if they wanted to. They choose.
Not without risking going broke. I think. I think these companies, these two other companies, CEMEX and FEMSA, they could lose a lot of money and it wouldn't affect them. Because I think a few years back, even with Televisa, how they changed the way they would manage the team, and they wanted America to be more independent And then this was going back when they were spending a lot of money, back when America would have up to 30 players on their roster, or sometimes even more. And then because they would just buy, and then they would loan them out. And
It's how we fill the roster here at the CantinaMX podcast.
Yeah. we have them out on loan right now.
Unlimited supply.
Yeah, well, I think that's, I don't know if it's Tigres or Monterrey right now that have so many foreigners just spread across into other divisions and other leagues. That's how much money they've been spending.
It wouldn't surprise me that it would be both.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this, Joel. In jornada after jornada dos, when Chivas was in the middle of their pantsy, you said that they should go out on loan. The fans should go out on loan for the season. So you have 8 teams left. Is there a team that's more attractive for others for Chivas fans to go out on loan? I would assume that America is off the table unless you're really depraved.
Well, I think Cruz Azul is one of those teams,
Yeah.
Yeah. They always seem kind of similar to Chivas, where they're like the working class, sort of seem to represent the working class team. I've seen a lot of the same jokes.
The bricklayers.
That they got made. Because Cruz Azul used to play at Azteca, same as America. Well,
right.
They're playing there again, but that's where they played, and then Chivas for many years played at the Jalisco with Atlas, and you would hear similar jokes. Yeah, you would hear some of the similar jokes of like, how do you know when Cruz Azul or Chivas are playing? And it's like, because you see the smoke or something in the air, like when they will clap, because they'll say they have like the cal in their hands. Yeah. And similar jokes like that, like that sort of put down one team because they would say the fans were, just blue collar jobs.
Right. No, it was not the smoke from the marijuana smoke.
It was from the construction workers from
lighting up like the fans at the LA Coliseum do.
Yeah, no.
Well, let's see. We got 6 minutes left. Pumas is down 2-1. Just again, to me, getting the goal was massive for them. It's hard to beat. At least recently, hard to beat Tigres.
Yeah, and the results have been pretty even. Even the 0-2 for Querétaro, that's still, it's not like how you see other times where one club would truly like just win 3-0, 4-0, 4-1, whatever. Overall, they're pretty even.
So you would advocate then for Chivas fans to adopt Cruz Azul for this for the rest of the Liguilla as their.
Well, that's the team I adopted.
Yeah.
Mainly because I'm a big Pelaez fan.
Sure. Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be a big Pelaez fan?
I would like to see him one day return to the national team. I would like that. And the rumors just came up. I don't know if it's rumors, but they had the rumors that Klaus was approached by the Galaxy, and they just heated up recently saying that it's a done deal. So that would be I wouldn't say a big loss, but a little bit worrisome for me. It's like, why would he want? I know he didn't want the position to begin with. At first, he was happy just being director de, of the youth teams.
Right.
But, I think if he does leave, I think because he felt like he was used in this
honestly,
whole.
Do you want to take orders from Memo Kante?
Who would what?
Do you want to take orders from Memo Kante?
No, but I feel like he must have felt like with the whole coaching thing, like he was just put through the loop unnecessarily. Like he was probably tasked with conducting interviews and looking for people, and it's like,
right, that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to get his
yeah,
dirty, roll up sleeves, and work with youth. Speaking of youth, well, yeah, I have heard those rumors, and we'll have to see how that plays out. But we would be remiss if we did not mention the fact that youth squad is in the World Cup final. In this case, it's Mexico's U17 girls who eliminated the U.S. GAF qualifiers and made it through their group by getting a 2 draws and a win against Brazil. They beat Japan, and they beat Ghana in penalty kicks after coming back to tie twice. And then they beat Canada 1-0 in the semifinal. They beat Spain in the grand finale there in the U17 Women's World Cup down in Uruguay. So congratulations to the girls for that. Shucks. So very, very happy to see. And it's not as if these are girls that were kind of like the national team plucked from U.S. colleges. Oh, your grandmother's, your grandpa's a Mexican girl on the team. So these are girls that are playing with the new guy Nike set for the team. So definitely good to see. And it just goes to show you what a massive disappointment it was that Mexico women did not qualify for the upcoming Cup in France. So, wish her the best of luck, but I have to agree with you though on the Teclos. If he does end up leaving the next week, I think that would be a massive loss. And so just goes. The question is going to be whose brother-in-law is going to get hired in this position, because that's going to go to someone who is going to be given a job not because of merit, but because of connection. I hate to.
Or would they even hire someone, or would they just leave Torrado, who's already there? Would he just take over operations as well? But the close was pretty key and helping Mexico get some quality amistosos, mainly in Europe. He was behind some of those games.
Yeah. He did the completely maverick strategy of calling the other federations to see if they were available. What an innovator the close was. No, I'm not quite kidding, but yeah, it was. I've always been a big fan of his. He in his time at Chivas, was he someone that left a positive impression with the Chivas fans, or not?
No, it's not. A lot of the boardroom stuff usually goes unnoticed. It's very few of us, and we're pretty nerdy when we're paying attention to what the FO is doing. For the most part, I see fans just care what happens in the field, and then whatever dirigente is most vocal, whatever he says.
Right.
But for the most part, we don't. We don't pay much attention to who's moving the strings in the back.
You guys just want to trash each other's favorite coaches and directivos.
Yeah, but I mean, he was at Tigres, He was at Tigres, and the closest responsible for this other guy, this Dutch scout who's been stealing some talent, or finding the talent for the FMF. In
the U.S.
From the U.S., yeah, exactly. And that's the closest, the guy that hired him. they ran into each other in an airport. I had posted the link. I don't know. I posted the story on the Facebook, on the Cantina Facebook page.
Sure.
Pretty interesting story. But this guy, he's pretty big, massive scout, and some of these guys that end up playing for the US for the selección. He, for the most part, that guy has had a hand in it.
Interesting. Well, if Teclos does end up going to the Galaxy, do you think that he'll be able to rescatar Giovanni?
If they'll be able to what?
To rescatar a Giovanni? Or is Giovanni too many Tommy burgers into the abyss?
It seems like Gio wants to be rescued, His brother was, which is surprising me. Why was the brother talking? Because the brother was saying how, yeah, Gio wants to make up for this horrible last season. But it's like, why isn't Gio the one saying it?
That's because Gio's too busy. He's too busy having Tommy burgers and partying. He's going to those tiki bars there in LA.
Yeah, no, I think he can. I mean, but I think I would wonder also why they would bring someone like Teclos. Is it because maybe they might try to get some Liga MX talent, not necessarily Mexican, but just overall talent. Like Boselli right now, he's gonna be a free agent. The León striker.
Right.
So players like that you could probably bring. Even someone like Benedetto, who was in Liga MX, he's right now with Boca.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Well, I've always said that Liga MX fans should keep an eye on the level of talent that MLS brings in from South America. So when the South American players in Liga MX are better than the South American players, Liga MX, then Liga MX fans should really start to worry as far as getting seeing the league start to overtake Liga MX as far as talent on the field and trophies, etc. So to close as part of that, then I can see why they would want to do something like that. Other than that, I just don't see any.
Yeah, because like speaking Benedetto, he's 28. He's not going to Europe, even if he has, a really good final in the upcoming Libertadores match against River. He's not going to Europe. With all due respect to him, and the best offer would come. It would. I mean, Boca could probably keep him because he would, he would. He's becoming one of their top draws, or they could just cash out and he would be huge back in Liga MX or even MLS.
Sure.
He is a great talent.
Well, maybe what they could do is to run him through one of the barrios there in Liverpool, wear just his Boca shirt, so that they can pump him with stones, so that they can garner more sympathy. See if that's another way they can win the Copa Libertadores titles. I don't see that, which frankly is beyond pathetic.
Yeah, and just Libertadores talk. The final was finally announced, and it will be at Santiago Bernabeu, December 8th.
That's terrible. I cannot tell you how pathetic this whole thing has been. It's just been a huge embarrassment for Argentine soccer, for South American soccer, for Venezuela soccer. no one was focused at all.
Yeah, they wanted it in Miami just because that would have been easy for a lot of their fans to travel, and there's already a big Argentine community. But it would have to been on the 8th because the Dolphins play on the 9th,
Right?
and on the 8th is the same day as MLS Cup. So yeah, and I don't blame them. I don't blame U.S. Soccer for not wanting that. They already have a difficult time promoting football here, competing against all these other teams. To then bring in, another just to add more,
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, if they would have just, I said this last week, if they would have just canceled the game on Saturday immediately after just going to play tomorrow, then we wouldn't even be having this discussion. But it's just it's and I know them. It's just they really should be embarrassed. I'm sure they're not. I'm sure they're not. It's because we're so passionate about it. It's like whatever. It's to me this is an international embarrassment. And not only that, but I mean, they also they did this little thing, this little theater in front of the president of FIFA, who would probably not consider as much an Argentina World Cup coming up like in 2030 because of us. So I mean, I really do think that this had a huge. If they were hoping on hosting the World Cup, this had a huge setback for them to have this complete thing happen. While and then I'm not saying that Infantino is a sex. I think he personally is worse than
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens, in regards to this. Like, does CONMEBOL switch their format? Because they obviously going to make more money. Or, or, or they just keep it as is. But there was already talk about changing the format in the next couple years, especially if Liga MX and MLS teams join.
Sure.
They wanted to do the predetermined final in the predetermined venue for the final, and it would have been a one-off
Which is
instead of the
fine.
home and home.
I have to ask myself, ask you, it's one thing when you have a final like Boca Juniors. Sao Paulo, something like that. Some of the true greats. But what happens if they have a final of like Deportivo Cucuta against Rules Old Boys? Who's going to go to the stadium to watch that? It's kind of the same thing with the. We'll have the Gold Cup outside the U.S. I mean, if they have it in Honduras, our fans and some people who will watch Panama play with that.
Yeah, there's been a few like that, but if the tournament changes where it's like more money, then you could just see the bigger clubs investing more and just having much stronger clubs. So I think that, and then the chances of that happening is just going to be less. So, sort of like what happened in Champions League, where before you would get some of these clubs, smaller clubs making it to the final and winning, and now it's like just very unheard of, just because all the big teams just spend more money now to have these stronger clubs, squads.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, for both, and for Boca to act the way that they did, you guys are insistent that that this was all planned. And inside we were probably right, but what's going to end up happening now is that now they're going to travel, 24 hours, get their ass kicked over in Spain. because for whatever reason they were just desperate to have this thing, and they're still going to appeal the decision and still want to go TAS for something that frankly they're just not going to win. It's just like, I thought that you guys were a proud club. I mean, wouldn't you want to, and I know that that there's a risk of losing, but you guys actually might be able to win too. I mean, I've seen Boca Juniors beat much better teams than Liverpool. So to me, just the whole thing is just a huge embarrassment. Just an absolute clown. They should be ashamed of themselves. This could have been a showcase event for both clubs, for the sport, for the country, and instead it just turned into this complete shit show. It basically focused the light on everything that is wrong with Argentine soccer, instead of what's good about it. I know that you're an Argentina file, so I'm sure that it's probably a little bittersweet for you too, just to watch these guys just fumble over themselves, to try and win up for whatever reason. It's like, just play the game, guys. That's my personal thoughts on it.
Así es, Jun.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, on that note, John, allí, I think ya me tengo que ir.
Fair enough. No, it's a good spot for us to wrap it up. We did our 3-hour show like we did on Monday when we did that. Sent me back for days doing that show. But go ahead, before we go, give me your predictions. Cruz Azul Querétaro. Does Cruz Azul survive? They get through their 2-0 advantage, or do they have a massive Cruz Azul advantage?
No, I don't think we'll see a Cruz Azuleada. Not against Querétaro, at least.
Not against Querétaro. Okay, and then Monterrey, Santos.
Oh, I still think it could go either way. Both teams are very strong.
Well, I'm asking you to go one way.
I'm going to go with Monterrey.
All right. So no more Furchazos for you. Furchazo, by the way, is rumored to be going to America, which shouldn't surprise anybody since Santos has been America's favorite team for the past 5-6 years or so. I'm going to go Querétaro as well. I'm sorry, Cruz Azul as well. And I think Santos is going to do it. I think that they can beat Monterrey. And I think that there will be a couple of Furchazos that will take care of it. Over on Sunday, the nooner, we have Tigres and Pumas. Tigres with a 2-1 advantage, but playing in that scorching 65-degree heat in the altitude where the Regios don't seem to do well. Go ahead. You still on the Tigre train, or are you?
Yeah. Okay. I still think Tigres are favorite, and I think Puma's best bet was at least the draw, but they're gonna have to open up now.
Okay. Well, if they win 1-0, they're through. So they're gonna have to win either way, even if they drew. You know what I think they're gonna do? I think Pumas, and I'm not just saying this as a fan. I just think that the Tigres is just is starting to slide a little bit. So I do think Pumas gets the upset. But the big one is Toluca and America. 2-2 draw. They went to the Azteca. We played at night. It's not as if America is going to have the advantage of the altitude because they play Toluca. But they're at the Azteca, Joel. What happens?
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I was asking you about Toluca, America. ¿Qué pasó? What's going to happen?
I still see America as favorites, and I think I'll go through with a draw. I don't think it'll be like a 3-3 draw. I could see another 1-1 or 2-2, but I still have Ame as favorites to take out Toluca.
So if America advances by time, are the fans going to be upset with you? We can only advance with ties.
Yeah, just because
that's 4-0 in order for us to like him.
Yeah, that's become the typical Americanista.
We don't play well enough to win. We're only tying. Let's do it. I don't like it.
They forget how even the league has gotten. They got used to back when teams, you had really weak teams and then it was easier for some of these clubs to just have 5-0 wins, and they kind of still expect that. It's similar to Selección as well, when they'll play the Turks and Caicos, and then they're playing like Honduras, and they're not getting that massive result, and they're thinking that the team sucks now.
Well, I mean, kind of like what we just saw in the U20. They steamrolled all the tiny little island countries, and then they played Panama. They barely got by. Actually, they tied them. They barely got by some of them. They lost to the U.S. Yeah, it's. I do think that America will win. So it's looking like it'll be at least on my side, it'll be the top 4 teams, and for you it'll be the top 3 teams in the 5 seeds. So it'll be Santos, Cruz Azul, and then we got. I'm sorry. I don't know. It'll be for you. It'll be Tigres. So it'll be Tigres, Cruz Azul, and America Santos. And for me, it'll be Cruz Azul, Santos, and America. Outstanding time. Well, that'll wrap it up here on the CantinaMX podcast. We will probably have a show. I won't be able to do a show on Sunday, but we'll probably have a show at some point next week. I'll be doing a lot of driving at night because I'll be going back and forth from Dallas, and we'll probably squeeze one time period when that happens. But I appreciate y'all listening tonight, and of course downloading this or subscribe to this on our iTunes page or Google Play. And of course, you can listen to this on our YouTube channel. Please give us a follow on Twitter. We occasionally do have some, somewhat witty comments on Twitter. I know that Joel does very well keeping up on our Facebook page, so be sure to like us over there as well. Joel, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, John.
And thanks to all of you for listening. On behalf of Joel Aceres, my name is John Jagu. We will talk to you guys next week, and enjoy your weekend.